Hey, this is the World Advice Channel 2. What I want to talk about today is the topic of how to deal with online bullying. So, for this video, I'm going to discuss how to deal with online bullying when it comes to dealing with it on a mass based level, or in other words, a masses based level. Like if you're being bullied based on things like your race, religion, you know, the trend you belong to, and so on and so forth. How to deal with it in a simple and straightforward way so anyone can understand it. So now I mentioned that, let's get started. So when it comes to how to deal with online bullying, especially if you belong to a group of people that are being terrorized and made fun of and so on and so forth, the best way to deal with it, if you want it to end, is learning to fight back. Or in other words, more specifically, fighting back against it. Okay. And when it comes to fighting back, what I mean is that if they're bullying you online, like terrorizing you, like let's just say, for example, obviously the easiest one could be if you're black, like it's a specific group of people. I'm not saying all white people. I know not all white people are like this, but maybe like a specific group, maybe they're from a certain channel or something, on YouTube, whatever, a certain ideology. You get the point. Okay. That's terrorizing you. I am going to start you know, going on their channels and terrorizing them, as well as when they're talking shit about us, in for the videos we are watching, we are going to defend ourselves and call them out on their shit. And that's exactly the truth of the matter, okay? Now, to be quite blunt and honest with you, even though people would say, of course, the biggest argument people are going to make, oh, I'm easier said than done. The simple answer to that question is I definitely disagree with that way of thinking. Because even though, of course, it is true, it's easier said than done. When it comes to the mindset that it's not going to really work, it definitely will undeniably work. Okay. You just simply have to you know, do it, okay? And that is the truth of the matter because when people start kind of seeing that, oh my god, I'm actually going to fight against someone's actually fighting back, even if they're still winning, okay? um in all honesty, you will start realizing gradually more and more and more and more and more and more and more that they're kind of starting to leave me alone a lot more, in all honesty, okay? That is the honest truth about it. It's already been a proven fact that if someone, for that matter, is being bullied, even if they lose a fight against a person who's bullying them, if they put up a good enough fight, like a really good fight, you know, you and this is from what I've heard, and this is based on stories of people who've actually been bullied or seen people bully, for that matter, okay, you will realize that person who was bullying that other person, the bully, will go away because he realized, oh my gosh, this guy, even though I beat him in a fight, if I fuck with him again, there's a chance we might have a situation, and I might lose, for that matter, okay? Or if not lose, it'll be a struggle that's not worth the amount of effort, okay? Because the truth of the matter about evil people, negative people like that, is that evil people, okay, whether it could be your local school bully, or of course, in this case, the most important thing, because this is the topic of the video, groups of people who are evil and want to kind of cause mischief, is that predatory people like that are weak, okay? That is honest truth, okay? Predators throughout nature, whether it could be like in the case of course, you know, like the human world, like human groups who like to pick on other groups of people, or even um predators from nature, which actually it's been proven a lot of people who are predatory humans actually think a lot more like predatory animals than you would imagine, okay? Actually, as a matter of fact, it's been proven that a lot of the techniques people actually use to develop war were actually inspired by the moves of animals, okay? I'm not making this up. This is actual facts from history, okay? So in short, a predator, no matter what type, the truth about predators is predators look for the weak, okay? They look for the weak and vulnerable, the ones who are not going to fight back, okay? But here's the thing, though: if you fight back or put up a huge fight, you will realize that they will start leaving you alone less and less and less and less and less and less and less. Okay, it's already been proven in nature. Okay, for example, okay, animals like lions, tigers and all that sort of stuff, and of course bears and every type of predatory animal you can imagine. It's already been proven from you know research. They usually always go for the ones who are the weakest. Okay, the weakest animals, even for animals that are the weaker ones, like deer versus maybe, like, for example, like in Africa, for example, like lions, you know um lions, for example, you will always notice that they'll always go for the animals like deer that are the weaker ones to take advantage of than the ones that are, like, for example, like elephants and stuff, okay? Because they realize that, you know, it's easier to take on the weaker ones than take on the strong ones who are going to actually fight back, and not just fight back, but are going to put up one hell of a fight, okay, for that matter, okay? So they're gonna realize, okay, we're not gonna fuck with this person. When it comes to the human world, it's the same thing. Even all the great empires, when you look at the history of the world, it's the exact same thing, okay? It's not saying they didn't fight against groups of people that were equal in strength, but most of the people they conquered, let alone most of the fights they ever had, were against groups of people that were weak. Look at every empire throughout the history of the world, okay? The Romans, the ancient Greek Empire, the Macedonian Empire, more exact, and so on and so forth. Everything they conquered pretty much were either one or two things: chumps, or empires that were pretty much at a stage where they were no longer as powerful as they used to be, okay? And that's the truth about predators, okay? Whether in the human world or in the animal kingdom, they prey on the weak and vulnerable. And when you fight back, you will realize, even if you lose, which most likely you're going to win, especially if you're not starting shit with people, you realize they're not really going to continue to bother you, okay? And they're going to leave you the fuck alone. And that's the truth of the matter, okay? So that is why, to answer your question, I definitely, hands down, believe you have the right to fight back. Okay, as besides, it's not like you're killing someone when people are when you're leaving negative comments back, but you're not. But you're defending yourself, and once they start seeing that, they will start realizing, oh shit, dog, this guy is not a loser I thought he was. Okay, he's actually gonna fight back, or more like specifically, this group of people are not losers like we thought they were. They're actually gonna put up a good fight. So as a result of that, you will realize they're gonna start kind of leaving you alone. Okay, and as a result of leaving you alone, you're gonna realize, you know, they're not really going to come back as much, if not at all, if you put up a good enough fight, for that matter. Okay, and that's the honest truth of the matter. So in short, that is why I believe the way I do. Because, to be honest with you, even though this is of course not very politically correct, especially in this world nowadays, which is because we live in a more pacified society nowadays. Okay, to answer your question, the truth of the matter is, the world we live in, is full of a lot of people who are miserable. Okay, and a lot of these people who are miserable are extremely miserable because they never fought back. Okay, whether they didn't have the ability to because they get in trouble, or they just didn't have the courage to. Okay, that is the truth of the matter, to put it bluntly. Okay, that is the honest truth. Okay, and those people tend to have some of the most effed up minds you can imagine and beyond your life. Okay, even, like, the self-esteem level they have is like let's just say you have, like, different levels of self-esteem. This is here, and this is the lowest. Okay, it's like here, when it comes to their self-esteem. Okay, and that's why you have to fight back, because the more you don't fight back, especially with the fact that with the internet age we live in, it's not like it's ever going to go away. The internet age, with the comments we have and stuff, it's not going away. The more you actually just live in a world like that and you're not fighting back, it'll just give you more and more shit to fuck you up mentally. Okay, and the more it gives you more and more shit to fuck you up mentally, the more miserable you're going to become. And the more miserable you're going to become, the more you're going to fight against each other and just live a very, very, very unhappy life. And just go down roads you really do not want to go down, okay? And that is the honest truth of the matter, okay, to put it bluntly, okay? And that's why I say the things that I do. To be quite blunt and honest with you, okay? Because I don't want that to happen to people, okay? And that's why I say the things that I do, because I do not want you to go down that road. It's not a good road, and it's a really ugly one, okay? And that's honest truth. So, in short, when it comes to dealing with online hate or online bullying in the internet age, the best way to deal with it is to fight back, and not just through fighting back will it get them to back off a bit. It will also gain respect from people, specifically the people who might not be on any of the two sides, okay? And through doing that, it will make your lives a lot happier and a lot better. And that is honest truth. So anyway, this is my video. This is all I have to say. And simply put it, I'm out. So bye.